You know, we depend on batteries for just about everything, right? But the very technology that powers our entire world is, right now, on the verge of a massive, massive revolution. So let's get into it.
Think about that for a second. That sentence captures this huge shift that's happening right under our noses. For decades, lithium has been the undisputed king of batteries, powering everything from your phone to your car. But as we're about to see, that throne is starting to look pretty shaky.
And this really gets to the heart of what I call the lithium paradox. I mean, on the one hand, lithium-ion batteries are amazing, right? They're powerful, they're rechargeable, they're the reason we have a mobile revolution at all. But, and this is a big but, they have some really serious flaws. Lithium is scarce, and most of it is controlled by just a handful of countries, which creates all sorts of geopolitical drama. It's also getting crazy expensive to dig out of the ground, and, as we've all seen on the news, it can be, well, volatile, even dangerous.
So all those flaws have basically kicked off a massive global race. Labs, startups, huge corporations, they are all pouring billions of dollars into finding the thing that comes after lithium. A whole new generation of power is rising up. So who's in the running? Let's meet the main contenders, shall we? First up, you've got sodium-ion. Think of it as the cheap, superabundant workhorse. Then there's solid-state, the ultra-safe option that people are calling the holy grail. And finally, aluminum-air, the undisputed long-range champion that could kill range anxiety for good. All right, let's start with the one that sounds almost too simple to be true. Getting our power from plain old sea salt. Yep, this is the sodium-ion solution.
You know, this question cuts right to the core of lithium's biggest weakness. It's rare. So instead of digging deep for a specific, scarce metal, what if you could just use something that's literally everywhere? Sodium is the sixth most abundant element on the planet. It's in every single ocean.
So how does this actually work? Well, it's surprisingly similar to a lithium-ion battery. But instead of using lithium ions, it just swaps them out for sodium ions. That's the Na+ from common table salt. It sounds like a simple switch, but it could totally flip the economics of storing energy. Now, the big challenge has been getting them to hold as much power and last as long as lithium. But you know what? Recent breakthroughs are closing that gap, and fast. And really, this is the bottom line for sodium-ion. It might not be the most powerful or the flashiest one out of the gate, but it promises to be the key to making energy storage for our power grids incredibly cheap and accessible for everyone everywhere. It's a total workhorse.
Okay, on to our second contender. This is a technology that researchers have been chasing for years, calling it nothing less than the holy grail of batteries, the solid-state solution.
Now this is the question that solid-state technology is built to answer. The biggest fear with the batteries we have now is their volatility, that they can overheat, swell up, and sometimes catch fire. Solid-state aims to make that problem just disappear.
And here's how it pulls that off. A normal battery has this flammable liquid sloshing around inside to move the energy. A solid-state battery gets rid of that liquid completely and replaces it with these super thin, stable solid layers, kind of like ceramic. If there's no liquid, there's nothing to burn. Simple as that. So what's the catch? Well, manufacturing these perfect paper-thin solid layers reliably and cheaply is incredibly hard, which is why they're not in your phone, just yet.
And that's exactly why it's earned that nickname. It's not just about being more powerful or charging faster. A solid-state battery represents the holy grail of safety. We could be talking about a future where battery fires are a thing of the past.
And finally, we get to our third contender, a technology that honestly sounds like it was pulled straight out of a science fiction movie. We're talking about a battery that literally breathes air.
No, that is not a typo. Seriously, we're talking about a leap in performance so huge, it would completely erase the term range anxiety from our vocabulary. I mean, just imagine driving from New York City all the way down to Miami on a single charge.
So how on earth does this work? Well, instead of carrying all its fuel inside, an aluminum-air battery is clever. It pulls one of its key ingredients, oxygen, right out of the atmosphere around it. It reacts that oxygen with aluminum plates inside, and that process creates a massive amount of electricity. That's why it can store way more energy than a lithium battery of the same weight. The main hurdle, though, is that they're not really rechargeable in the way we think. You'd actually replace the aluminum plates, a process that needs to become as quick and easy as filling up at a gas station.
I mean, just look at that number, 1,000+ miles. That says it all, doesn't it? This is the kind of game changer that could make electric vehicles not just an alternative to gasoline, but a vastly superior one for anyone who needs to travel a long way.
So when you put all of this together, it's crystal clear that we are stepping into a brand new age of energy. We're moving into the post-lithium era. The very elements we use to make power are changing, from heavy metals to the salts in our oceans and the air that we breathe.
This really puts everything into perspective. The industrial age, that ran on lead-acid batteries. Our current digital age has been completely defined by lithium-ion. But the future, it won't be dominated by just one new technology. It's going to be a mix of specialists. Sodium-ion for massive grid storage, solid-state for our safe, powerful gadgets, and aluminum air for long-haul transportation.
And what this all points to, ultimately, is a future where our energy sources aren't limited by how much of a rare material we can dig up. By using some of the most common and abundant elements on the planet, we can build a future where energy isn't just rechargeable, it's sustainable, cheap, and accessible for everyone.
So the next time you charge your phone or see an EV drive by, just remember that this revolution is already happening. Our energy future won't be powered by one single kind of battery, but by many. And the really big question is, which one of these new technologies is going to end up powering your world?